I'm Stephen Sylvester.
And I'm Todd Sylvester.
Hey, thanks for that.
Are we starting a new tradition?
No, I would prefer not to. I was just messing with you. Come on.
Right back at you.
Oh, thanks, brah.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I use these pens that I guard them. First of all, because they're kind of expensive.
Okay.
But secondly, they're fast drying. We're not sponsored by Energel.
But we are sponsored by LaCroix.
Stop it. Liquid gel ink. It's Pentel. Pentel?
We're not actually sponsored by LaCroix.
Or by these people, but I love these pens for left-handed people because
Pentel.
it's fast-drying ink, and left-handers drag our hands through.
I was going to ask, why does it matter so much? Like, isn't it just the same as any gel pen? But fair enough.
Fast-drying.
How about that? I'm definitely stealing them.
What's up? Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
When you told me this topic, I kind of giggled to myself because I still think it's funny that people call a a recorded project an album.
Yeah.
Since I guess there still is vinyl, right?
It's resurged in the past 10 years or so. It's made a resurgence.
So I think it's funny because they use the USB needles, so
it's not
Wi-Fi connected or what have you. I don't know.
Something is getting digitally processed unless you're going all in on analog and buying a lot of expensive equipment. It's not. I mean, I guess it feels different if you're a hipster. No offense to hipsters.
Kind of cool.
You know,
when I was young, it's all we had for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 8-track came out, but the 8-track to me was annoying. It was nice to be able to play in the car. The cassette tape was a big deal, and especially when you had the cassette that would automatically switch, or you could fast forward to where it found a gap, and then it would stop for the next song. That was a really big thing.
Yeah.
But we did play at home. You always played the album. And then the singles were called 45s because they played at higher speed, and you'd have a song on each side. And I would go and sometimes buy, the 45s, the singles, because it was a big hit song. And the only reason why you wouldn't buy the album is because you didn't have the money. I mean, it wasn't something where you were like, I don't want the whole album. I just want the single.
When you were getting albums, typically what did one cost?
At that time, it was like $8, $8.99 maybe.
This was in what year?
Late 70s.
Okay. So I skipped all of that. I went all the way forward to when CDs were king, which would have been late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, and I remember Garth Brooks freaking out because of the used CD market. And if you treated your CDs well, then they were perfect.
Yep.
And the audio quality was exact.
And then it was Napster that started that whole digital revolution. You remember?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember it. I remember all the lawsuits.
There was a transition. So I can remember, there's a couple of things I can remember with regards to buying albums versus singles. So I remember going to the store to get, and this is so like homeschooled kid, but I remember going to Walmart or Target and going to their giant CD section, which those don't exist anymore, to get Toby Mac's new CD. And I remember I bought it at one of those places, and then I did the same thing for John.
About how much
for John
was it?
Mayer too. It was like $12, I want to say, maybe 14 or 15 for an expensive one for like a lot of songs on there. I think John Mayer's record that I got was 15, but all this was early 2000s, and I can vividly remember the first time that one of my friends, and I won't say who it was, but it was a friend who I spent a lot of time with when I was younger, who was like, hey, do you want John Mayer's other CD? And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, I've got all the files. I can just download them on his computer. And I remember at the time thinking, okay, I do want his album, but this is making me really uncomfortable. And also, how am I going to get this home? Like, I didn't have a computer.
Right.
I didn't have a laptop.
Right.
So I vividly remember that because he could just search for John Mayer and then the name of the album, and then all the songs were right there online. And I think he was using either Kazaa or Napster, one of those music sharing sites.
Right.
Where the idea was if you bought the CD, then you could upload the songs and then anybody could use them.
Yeah.
And
I will tell you, I had a Napster account, and without thinking about the morality of it, I was uploading songs. I mean, because the way it worked was anyone on Napster could see that you had the song, and when you were online, it knew that you were online. It knew your upload speed, and I remember thinking how cool it was that people were grabbing songs off of my computer.
Yeah,
because you'll see it actively going, and you're like, "Wow, but it's so cool, man! The music community. I'm part of the music community."
But it was cool. Right? It really was cool at the time. And no one was thinking about the morality of it, except for maybe, music industry execs who were sweating.
We were like, what is going on?
Wait. We were just making all
going
this
out
money.
the window.
No. And so when I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking about not just the sales part of this, but the fact that albums and singles and people thinking about music like that has actually driven decision-making in the age of streaming.
Right.
So, for example, everybody releases singles now, with a handful of exceptions who are like super avant-garde. Like, I seriously doubt Prince would have ever done that. Were he still with us? Because that was he was strange.
Yeah.
So
that was not his thing.
I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
Right,
he was a very unique artist. But everybody releases singles, and a lot of bands are doing this thing where they will release several singles, like 4 or 5 of them out of a 12-song album. And they'll do it all in the 2 to 3 months.
Stagger it.
Right. In the 2 to 3 months leading up to the album's release. And that's apparently, from what I hear, a really effective tool for getting people to stream the album because they want to hear the other songs too.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that's not driven by data necessarily. It's driven by this idea that you give people a taste with a single, like what do you sound like? And then you go and buy the record because you want to hear the rest of the record. You want to hear more of that artist. And so people are still doing that in the digital world.
But is it a personality thing? Because I always want to hear at least once the whole album.
I don't have time for that anymore.
Come on.
No, I'm serious. There are times when, so the only time that I have available to me where I'll sit down and listen to a full album, like with headphones on, is if it's a weird day where we're either on vacation or all the kids are sleeping at the same time and there's nothing going on. I don't have anything to catch up with on YouTube and I'm in the mood to listen to music.
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to a full record from start to finish.
That's right, because you really don't do a lot of driving.
And if I did, I would listen to more albums.
And you don't mow grass like your dad.
No, like
that's when I'm listening.
It would make zero sense for me to buy a pair of nice headphones that I could walk around with because I don't have the time to do that.
Okay.
I don't have the time to listen to music as I'm doing things.
So you're a singles guy.
Yes. 100%.
Not the whole album.
Now here's the thing. I am not against albums. I think albums are awesome. And there's a lot that I'll go back to. And I like to know the deep tracks, the songs that the artist appeared to really care about, but like didn't chart as singles. I like to know those songs, especially if I really like the artist. Right. But all I've got time for in terms of wanting to engage with media in the world of music is singles. And so I like the fact that everybody releases singles because you can get a taste of what everybody's up to.
On a side note, how do you feel about like YouTube does the shorts, the hashtag shorts?
I hate it.
You don't like that?
I hate it because all they're doing is going, I mean, look, it makes sense. They're going to the logical conclusion of what TikTok started. But Instagram started doing it. And then I guess Snapchat was first, but Instagram started doing it where you can just endlessly, mindlessly scroll through these short videos and it's just content. And a lot of it is re-uploaded. A lot of it is stolen. People just re-upload the same thing with different beginnings or endings. And that's the Wild West of media right now.
Right.
Music is figuring itself out as far as I can tell. But video and video content specifically, we're just getting started.
Yeah, because as a YouTube creator, they keep asking me, like, when are you going to upload a short?
They ask me the same thing, and I'm like, no, thank you. I would prefer to just upload the content that I have and be cool with it. And maybe that's me being crotchety. I'm not sure. But
I might do some shorts. I don't know.
I won't watch them.
You are a jerk.
I'll watch the full ones. If you upload a full video, I'll watch that.
You just said you don't even have time for that.
Yeah, with music. How long of a video are we talking about?
The shorts are only like 30 seconds. The regular videos, I don't know, around 7 minutes.
All right, look, if it was you making shorts, then I would watch them, to be clear. But I don't like the idea of going from someone uploading a completed work to doing a 30-second clip of what they do so that people can just mindlessly scroll through it.
And whatever happened to, what was that website that was like 3 seconds?
You're talking about Vine?
Yeah. Whatever happened to Vine?
Vine died.
I know. What happened?
I don't know. But
it was so popular.
TikTok is basically just the new Vine. It's just not as good. People aren't as creative as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that was my attention span. Vine was designed for me.
I loved Vine. Vine was amazing.
I just have no idea what happened.
I don't know.
I wanted to become a Vine star. I missed it.
I got all of that creating like weird, hilarious content for the internet out of my system with Vine. And now I'm like, TikTok, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah,
I'm
blah.
old. I'm in my 30s.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments whether you like the whole album, like the old guy here, or just
if you
the
like
singles.
The singles.
Like Stephen, who's so busy.
Like the
he
less
can't
old
listen
guy.
to the whole album, even though he's an artist.
I regret nothing.
Thanks so much for listening to Potter Familias.
We appreciate y'all.